Hello again, YouTube. Today, what the hell is today? I'm walking around for a reason, but today is Sunday. I just woke up. It's about 11:30 a.m. Um, and we got some stuff to talk about. All right, so it's nothing critical to anybody's well-being. It's just two things I wanted to talk to everybody on YouTube about. So, first things first, my mom moved back in for a solid 3 days. Um, and then she has gone back to her still husband's house, but she hasn't taken all her stuff. She's taken some clothes. That's about it. Let me show you what I mean. So she brought these lamps. And one over here, one over here. She brought those lamps back. There's some other little stuff somewhere. The biggest thing is, if we go in here, remember the old TV that I bought a new one for? There's the old TV right there. Remote and all with the stand. We're just putting it in here, and she sold her bed, so she's got an air mattress in here. But and she brought her clock and some of her stuff. But yeah, she just brought the TV back, and she's still got like a closet full of clothes. But we have the old TV back now, which kind of makes me feel fucking stupid because it's just like, all right, well, we got these two big ass flat screen TVs in the house. One doesn't ever get used because that one in there doesn't have cable on it. But I'm gonna call it Comcast today, see how much it's gonna be to hook up a little box to it. So anyway, that was the first thing. Just kind of, there's some people that wanted to know what's going on, and it's just that they've been going through some stuff. He's trying to change and whatever. I'm not going to get into specifics. So let's go to our usual spot, in the room here, and we'll talk about the rest of what happened yesterday. Yesterday was, you know, Sunday, open Sunday. We ran through a whole bunch, and when I say they and we and all this and me, I'm at work at Regal at Green Hills being manager. So I'm over at Green Hills, and most of the day was spent. We had a pre-screening at 11 a.m., which was stupid. It was on a Saturday. It was 11 a.m. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, so we had that happen, and then later that day, our general manager comes in, and we have this whole like big long list of stuff he wants me to do to make sure I know how to do it, which I'm like, okay, well, there's some stuff I don't know how to do that I want to know how to do. So we're running through this, and it's just like, run a register, do voids, do swaps for tickets, and all this other stuff. And so most of the day was spent doing that. And a better part of the last 2 hours of me being there was spent counting the safe and pulling money from registers. So that was basically what happened yesterday. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was sometime because my last vlog was a week ago. So there's been one like catastrophic thing that's happened since then at the theater. It seems like there's at least one thing that happens that's just really stupid bad that happens in the theater every week. Basically, we opened, me and this other manager, and we had our maintenance guy that was coming out to unclog some drains, specifically a mop sink, a 3-compartment sink, and the ice machine drain. So, everything's going chill. Um, it's all fine and dandy. Currently, we had a leak in the roof of Theater 16, and it was coming from if you're in the concession stand, the rightmost soda tower. It was coming through the roof. It wasn't bad, but it was noticeable, and we blocked off the like 4 rows of seats in there. And then we had another leak up in the booth, in the projection, in the lower projection booth, because how it works is there's an upper projection booth with Theater 1 and 2, and there's a lower projection booth with Theaters 3 through 16. So, there was a leak in lower projection, but that was just from, like, the roof outside. It was just a leak. It needed to be fixed, which we had roofers coming out to fix it sometime. Actually, they fixed it yesterday. So, that was part of that ties into part of the story. So, but we couldn't really do anything about that. So there's not going to be anything else about that. So, if you can kind of see where this is going, now I'm going to tell the story anyway. So they're unclogging the drains, and they're making somewhat of a mess. And the reason they're unclogging these drains is because we're supposed to be getting a new ice machine behind concessions. And so first of all, the guy supposed to be putting in the ice machine is supposed to be there at 10 in the morning, while our maintenance guy and his guy are there unclogging drains and fixing miscellaneous crap. So they started unclogging these drains. Well, the ice machine goes, pretty good. They took out a lot of grease, so we figured out we need to put a grease trap on that, but whatever. They unclogged the 3-compartment sink, and now it's just literally sucking water down. Cool, whatever. And then they unclogged the mop sink. It wasn't really clogged, it was just draining kind of slow, and it needed to be cleaned anyway. So they start to unclog that. Oh boy. They started clogging that. Well, what happened was that water, somehow, I guess the mop sink is on the same water drain that our soda towers are on. So now, if you can see where this is going now, I commend you, because it's not really that hard to find out what's going on now. So anyway, they started unclogging the mop sink, and the water started backing up. So the water started backing up into the pipes that were in the drains from the draft beer and all 3 of our soda towers. So the water starts coming up out of the drains and leaking into the concession floor, basically flooding the concession stand. The beer one was the worst because it came up and it smelled like shit, and it was brown and goopy. So it probably was shit. I don't know. So, yeah, that was going on. So I told the other manager about it, and I'm like, do you want to tell them to stop, or should we just let them do it and then clean it? And come to find out, they said that they were going to clean up anything they messed up anyway. So I was like, okay, whatever, just let it go. So the first thing the other manager thinks, he's like, oh shit, Theater 16. And then we go downstairs, and there is just a waterfall. It's just like, I mean, it's not like a literal like waterfall, like, fucking really big or anything, but it's like, it's coming from the roof pretty steadily, and the seats are soaked, and it's not a good day. So we're sitting here freaking out. We can't have the theater open while there's patrons in there. The other manager's freaking out. He's like, well, we have a showing, and of course it's the first showing, and it's for Florence Foster Jenkins. And if you don't know what that is, it's a Meryl Streep movie, and it's been very popular with elderly people. So Green Hills is known for elderly people. If you don't know, they're known for rich and elderly people. That's what they're known for. That's their clientele. So, good God. So, we had this waterfall. Well, our general manager's on vacation. He just came back Friday, day before yesterday. So, we're like, well, we can't really call Chris. So, what do? So, we called the first assistant. Like, hey, can we cancel Theater 16 and move it somewhere else and put it in somewhere where a movie's not going to do as much business? They're like, okay, email this person. And then we email that person, and then they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So then we switched Theater 16 over to Theater 14, and then from there it was pretty good. So they fixed everything else in the building, drain-wise. It was good. And then the guy that's supposed to be there to put in the ice machine. Okay, first problem. He didn't show up at 10 a.m. He wasn't there. Second problem. He showed up at 4 p.m. And third problem. It was one guy. Now, if you don't know how big these ice machines are, the ice machine we have over Green Hills is nowhere near as big as the one at Opry Mills. Because the one at Opry Mills has 2 roll carts, then a door that opens up that you hit the ice in, and then it goes up some more, and then it's got a machine on top. The ones at Green Hills just have the door that opens up to hit it, and then it goes up, and then there's a machine on top. There's no carts at all. So it's a lot shorter. The reasoning behind that is because the roof is shorter. So if they wanted to have another one with carts, they'd have to have enough clearance. So, but they don't have enough clearance unless they want to rebuild the roof, which I'm pretty sure there's enough room, but they have to redo everything, and it would just look stupid. So, over there at least, it looks good at Opry Mills, but it's just like, at Green Hills. So. They got this one guy that's supposed to be coming out there, and we didn't know this before, but so he calls us about 30 minutes before he shows up, and he's like, hey, I'm on my way, where do I need to park at? And we're like, just park in the back where the compactor is at, and the receiving room is. He's like, okay, well, I'll try to find that. What does it look like? I'm like, well, there's a compactor on the left side, there's green doors, and then there's some stairs there on the side of the building, and there's like 4 or 5 parking spots that lead to this one green door, and the 4 or 5 spots are our spots, so you can park there. He's like, okay, and that's also where the ice machine's at. He's like, okay, it's in that room. So he's like, okay, so then he calls me back like 30 minutes later. He's like, hey, I'm here. I don't really know where I'm at. I'm like, okay, well, can you describe the area where you're at? He's like, well, there's a assurance, auto insurance company. I see straight up, and then there's a bridge, and then there's a whole bunch of empty space and picnic tables. I was like, no, you need to go around the corner. And he's like, well, I think right here will be fine. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I didn't find that part. He just, what he described was he just saw the insurance company sign. Well, there's 2 of them. There's one that's around back where the area was where we wanted him to park at originally. And there's another one that's completely in the front of the theater that the public actually sees. So I walk outside all the way around this building, in a suit, mind you, all the way around this building, and dude is sitting in this like courtyard that no one at the theater ever uses because it's not seen by anybody. It's next to a parking garage and outside with the emergency exits. Nobody ever sees it. So, he's sitting out there talking to a fucking police officer, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I found him. I was like, oh, are you the guy with the? And he was like, yeah. And so he comes and he's like, yeah, it's just me. We're not gonna be able to install it today. I'm just here to take measurements and fix some of your reach-in freezers and fridge. And what he means by that is the freezers and fridges, they're stand-up ones, and the door opens to the side. So it's called a reach-in because you open, reach in, take, and then, you know, that's all you do. So, he's like, well, I'm here to fix your reach-in freezers and fridges. I'm like, okay. And take measures of the ice machine. I'm like, okay. So, he doesn't even look at the ice machine. So, he goes upstairs and he fixes. Eventually, what happens is he was still there when I was leaving. But what ends up happening is he's like, well, I'm gonna fix these, and I'm supposed to be taking measurements of the ice machine and where it's supposed to be going. I'm like, it's the same size as the other one, and you guys have already taken measurements of this fucking thing 3 times. The only problem is we don't have we don't have forklifts either. We don't have a pallet jack. We don't have a pallet jack. It's downstairs. It won't fit through our front door, and it won't fit on the elevator either. So how the fuck are we supposed to get it upstairs? And we don't fucking know anymore. So that's something everyone else can figure out. That's not my problem. The whole reason the ice machine's getting replaced is because the one upstairs leaks like fucking crazy. And it was even worse before because the drain was clogged up. So now the drain's fixed. So now it's just, there's water. So that's my story of Green Hills this week. I'm pretty sure something else stupid as fuck is going to happen. I went to Opera Mills last night. I saw Hell or High Water. It was pretty nice to see everybody. I haven't seen everybody. It's the longest stint I haven't seen everybody in Opry. It was like 2 weeks. Whoop-de fucking do. What? And everybody was freaking out. They're like, oh my God, Brandon. I'm like, hey. Hey, how you doing? Remember, like, comment, favorite, subscribe, like the Facebook page, be the link down below in the description. And next time I see you guys, it should be a car video. I'm going to be replacing the fresh air intake on my car, and I want to do a before and after on that. So it's just going to be, I got the new one in, and I'm be like, here's what it is before, here's what it sounds like when it started up before, and then put the new one on, and then, you know, that. So I will see you guys later. Or it might be a gameplay video. I don't know. It's going to be here in like 3 or 4 days. I haven't gotten it yet. And it's like $80 in advance auto parts. And I don't feel like paying that. So I paid $30 online. So there you go. Bye.